My name is Marla Tejas. I'm one of your local news anchors. Oh, thank you so much. That's a lot better than being booed. I really appreciate the support. I am one of your news anchors here in Los Angeles. I work for Fox 11. It's just down the street, just a few miles on the cusp of, it's technically West LA, but adjacent to Santa Monica. And I'm one of your night side anchors, so for those of you who live locally and you want to get a dose of news, you can catch me weeknights. I have to do the plug, right? I mean, come on. I got a captive audience. You can catch me weeknights at 6, 8, 9, and 11 p.m. And I know a lot of you came from far away, and of course, you can also catch us online. We're live there too, foxla.com/live. So I got my personal plug-in, and I want to make it clear that as I said, I'm so honored to be here, so honored to be back, because I was here last year, lucky enough to be your MC last year. I do see a lot of familiar faces in the room today. Can I get a show of hands for the so-called returning customers? Were you here last year as well? Okay. All right. Well, good. For those of you, this is your first time. I have to tell you that you're in for quite a treat. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more in just a second. But I want to thank this woman right here. And we should all be thanking her. Oana Tucker. She is a master at putting these events together. And you do such incredible work. So thank you. Thank you for having me back. And it's not just me this year, it's my +1. So if you haven't noticed, my husband and I are expecting our first. It's a baby girl, and she is due in 16 days. Yeah, tell me about it. So you know what? Well, we actually planned, we had a backup just in case I wasn't going to be here today. But you know what that means is that I could go into labor at any moment. And I thought, hey, it wouldn't be half bad if she was born at the Waldorf Astoria, right? At the Female Empowerment Summit. And I would even potentially, I would name her Astoria. Wouldn't that be a nice name? Yeah. And then also going over the program today, I was relieved to see that there are some doctors here in the room. Thank goodness. Let's hope I don't need you today. Okay, so on a very personal note, as it relates to the pregnancy, it was a year ago, as I said, when I emceed this event, and behind the scenes, what everyone didn't know was that my husband and I were going through the very complex process of IVF, and perhaps some of you can relate. It's a very exhausting, expensive, although more companies, and we know nationally now that more companies will step up to pay for it, thank goodness. Expensive, exhausting, daunting process. It's all of those things, but you know what else it is? It is empowering. And given that today's theme is also empowerment, I wanted to bring that up because I have never felt more empowered in my life to think that a year ago we were going through this process, and now I'm 16 days away, thanks to the miracles of modern medicine, of becoming a mom in the month of March. And that is significant because March is Women's History Month, and on Saturday it's International Women's Day. So it all comes together. Thank you. And bringing it back to this room and this event today, there are so many history-making women in this room that you're going to hear from today. Incredible minds in the fields of diplomacy, business and tech, education, emotional intelligence, and health and wellness. And the program that Oana puts together is quite literally life-changing. And that may sound like hyperbole, but it's not. And let me just share this other story with you. It was a year ago when I left this event, and I got in my car, and I didn't know what to expect. We had connected through, a friend of a friend. She asked me to MC the event. I've done a lot of these things before in my career. Didn't know what to expect. got my car, was headed to work, and I started to weep after I left. And that may sound a little wild, and maybe it was the hormones. But let me tell you, it took me a minute to figure it out. Why was I crying? And it was because I left here feeling a sisterhood and a connection that I had not felt in so many years. It had been so long because we all get caught up in the rat race of whatever it is we do every day. And no, even though we always want to say that we lift each other up, we're all in such competitive industries, and it doesn't always happen. So what I felt in this room 365 days ago or so was literally life-changing for me, and I've stayed in touch and made connections with people in the room, and we connect on social media, and it's been so wonderful. So you're in for that treat today. We hope that you forge that connection, fuel that empowerment. That is what it's all about. Lastly, I'll end with this. I've been in the broadcast news industry for more than 25 years. That means that I've interviewed thousands of people. To be clear, my most favorite interviews are just with the everyday people out there, because we're the fabric, they are the fabric that makes up our communities. With that said, I have interviewed a ton of high-profile people, whether that's politicians or celebrities or activists like Maya Angelou, the late poet. I was lucky enough to spend several hours with her for a sit-down interview. She left the most impression. I've never been so moved, let me say that, by an interview before. She had an aura that I can't even put into words. And it's all fitting because, of course, she was the one who famously said, and I know a lot of you know this quote, and you can say it along with me if you do, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And we hope that you never forget how you're going to feel at day's end today. And that feeling is that we are unstoppable together. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm done with my opening remarks. Thank goodness. Let's get the show on the road, and I will introduce our first guest of honor. She has an illustrious 18-year career in diplomacy, more than 12 years as an advisor to the Ministers of Foreign Affairs. She assumed the Consul General of Romania role in Los Angeles last November. She was a part of the event last year, and we're so honored to have her back. Please welcome Her Excellency Lucia Sava.
Wow. Esteemed guests, dear colleagues, my dears, thank you for coming today. It's an honor for me to talk in front of you. It's an honor on my behalf to give the patronage to this event. You think that it's easier, but every single time, those emotions and the images that I'm having from here. So thank you for being here. Allow me, please, to say thank you to my esteemed guest. I will start with Denise Shane. Ms. Denise Shane, welcome. Thank you for being here. She is the Director Regional Office of the Foreign Commission of LA. Harriet Williams Bright, thank you. Where are you? She is the head of the Compact Women Peace, Security, Humanitarian Action, UN Woman. Lourdes Saab, she didn't arrive, but she will arrive. Chief of Protocol of the County of LA, Sharona Nazarian, Vice Mayor of Beverly Hills, thank you. It's an honor to have you here. Zaib Sheikh, Consul General of Canada, Dean of Consular Corps of LA. Honorable Sophie Hotat, Consul General of Belgium, thank you. Honorable Rene Pea, Consul General of Croatia, thank you. Honorable Andrea Sass, Consul General of Germany. Honorable Marcella Smith, Consul General of Ireland. Honorable Paulina Kapushka, Consul General of Republic of Poland. Please forgive me. Honorable Sinan Kuzum, Consul General of Turkey. Justina Kovoya, Economic Council of Lithuania. Rafaela De Laurentiis, Honorable Vice Consul of Principality of Monaco. Iulia Costin, Honorary Consul of Romania in Denver. And Gudrun Giddings, Honorary Consul of Sweden. Thank you so much. You can imagine, so my dear colleagues, your presence not only underscored the importance of this summit, but also highlights the vital role of international collaboration in advancing gender equality. In today's interconnected world, it is through such partnership that we can truly affect meaningful changes. As the Consul General of Romania in Los Angeles, I am privileged to witness the extraordinary strength, unwavering resilience, and incandescent brilliance of Romanian women, both in our homeland and here. The theme of female empowerment is not an abstract concept. It is a living, breathing reality embodied by the countless women who have defied expectation, shattered the proverbial glass ceilings, and woven their indelible contribution into the cultural, social, and economic fabric of our communities. As we gather at this pivotal summit, let us not merely reflect on the progress we have made, but let us resolutely commit to acknowledging the arduous journey that still lies ahead. Empowering women is not merely a moral imperative, it is an economic and social necessity, a cornerstone upon which we must build day by day, year by year, a more equitable and prosperous future. And as Michelle Obama articulated, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. This summit embodies that very truth, showcasing the boundless potential that resides within each of us. Let this quote resonate within us as we start this summit. Let this summit serve as a crucible for meaningful dialogue, a catalyst for transformative collaboration, and a vibrant exchange of innovative ideas that will propel us forward on the unwavering path to gender equality. Let us be inspired by the compelling narratives of resilience, the groundbreaking innovation, and the visionary leadership that will undoubtedly emerge from the enriching discussion within our panels today. And as Ruth Bader Ginsburg so powerfully proclaimed, women belong wherever power is being exercised. This summit is a vital stride towards ensuring that women's voices are not just heard, but are instrumental in shaping the decisions that mold our world. Let us remember this as we listen to our panelists. In closing, I extend my deepest and most heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. Our esteemed speakers, our dedicated participants, and the extraordinary women who have graced us with their presence. Let us pledge not merely to depart inspired, but to emerge as steadfast agents of changes. Prepare to translate our insights into decisive actions. Together, we shall forge a future where every woman is empowered to realize her fullest potential. And our society are defined by enduring pillars of equality, justice, and prosperity for all. In this vital endeavor, international collaboration is paramount. Let us unite across borders, exchange best practices with unwavering commitment, and cultivate robust partnership to accelerate meaningful progress. Only through a concerted global effort, fortified by shared vision and unwavering resolve, can we ensure truly and prosperous future for women worldwide. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
One more round of applause for the Council General I want to draw your attention to the little gift on your table. If you open it up, it is a beautiful scarf. And it's got the hearts on it. It's the colors of the Honor Foundation, which is ONOR. It's in your program. That's the organization in which the Female Empowerment Summit falls under. So you can wear this proudly. It's beautiful. Oana, thank you so much. Yes. Our next speaker, she was introduced briefly by Lucia. She's a longtime resident of Beverly Hills. She's committed to public safety, strategic planning, and supporting local businesses. She's the first Iranian American woman elected to the Beverly Hills City Council. She is the current vice mayor. Please put your hands together for a warm welcome for Sharona Nazarian.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Are you ready to be inspired and be unstoppable? So, as was mentioned, my name is Dr. Sharona Nazarian, and I'm proud to serve as the Vice Mayor for the City of Beverly Hills. And it's my honor to be with all of you today and to welcome you to the 2025 Female Empowerment Summit alongside my dear friend, Consul General Lucia Saba. Yes. Thank you, Oana. You have a magical way of always bringing so many inspiring people together, and I appreciate you including me in today and for hosting this event at the gorgeous Waldorf Astoria in the heart of Beverly Hills. And today we are going to be unstoppable together, as we know. And as I look around the room, I see trailblazers, diplomats, CEOs, doctors, entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers. In other words, a lot of strong women. Each of you shaping the future in ways that inspire and uplift others. We have the incredible Romanian Olympic champion, Andreea, who's going to be speaking further today. She's here, yes, and she's here to share her incredible journey and tell us about overcoming the obstacles that she has gone through, and tell us details about her incredible book, The Other Side of the Medal, which I'm looking forward to reading. She gave me a copy of it yesterday at a gathering that we had at City Council. We wanted to be able to bring all the ladies together to give them a glimpse of what's happening in Beverly Hills and to take a look around. I think it's really important to empower one another and to teach each other and to learn from one another. So we're looking forward to hearing from her. And like many of you, my story is also one of perseverance and ambition and breaking a lot of barriers. As was mentioned, on April 1st, I'm going to be sworn in as the first Iranian American woman to serve as the mayor for the city of Beverly Hills. And it's such a humbling thing for me. I'm deeply grateful, and I take it with a profound responsibility and a firm belief in the power of representation, because we all need to be able to have a voice. So over the past 20 years, I've really committed myself to public service, to ensuring that all voices are heard and represented in key decisions, not only locally, but also at the national level. And last night was my beloved grandmother's 1-year anniversary of her memorial. And I've had a lot of strong women around me, and I humbly carry that, the resilience of strong Iranian women who raised me, women who taught me that strength and courage are important. But also, it's not just about strength and courage, but it's also about love. It's about kindness. It's about listening and unity and being able to work together. So Beverly Hills, we all stand on the shoulders of those women that came before us, and it's extremely important that we support one another and not let those barriers define us, because we really have to help each other grow. And that's been witnessed every year when we do this empowerment summit. I just feel so grateful to be a part of it and seeing all these distinguished leaders who are leading the next generation forward. I'm so grateful to all of you ladies. Thank you. So Beverly Hills is much more than just a city of glamour. It's a city built by people from all walks of life who dare to believe in something greater. And as I step into this new role, I do this not just for myself, but also for every young woman who aspires to make a difference in her own community. And also for every seasoned woman who is ready for the new chapter in their life, for the next chapter of their life, who holds the promise of reinvention and opportunity. So my vision for the future is one of inclusivity, innovation, empowerment, and most importantly, one of unity. I want to ensure that Beverly Hills continues to be a city where entrepreneurs, especially women and minority-owned businesses, can certainly thrive. A city that has prioritized our safety, sustainability, and innovation to inspire the next generation. And most importantly, a city where every woman, regardless of her age, her background, sees herself as a reflection in all of our leadership. So I ask each of you today, I have a very few important questions. How will you empower those around you? How will you use your voice to make a difference? Because when one of us rises up, we all will rise up. So together, let's come together. We have the opportunity to build an incredible future filled with all of you wonderful ladies and the gentlemen who support us. I think that's really important. Let's give a hand for all the men in the room. We're grateful for you to be here and for your support and courage. We appreciate that. And thank you so much. We're all this is an empowering group, and I'm grateful to be a part of it, and we're all unstoppable. So thank you so much. I hope to stay in touch with you. And please follow me on social media, Sharona4BH. I think that it's important for us to stay in touch with one another, to support one another, and I always try to be a space for that, Sharona4BH. And I hope you guys have a fantastic summit. Thank you all so much.
One more time, put your hands together for the soon-to-be mayor of Beverly Hills, Dr. Sharona Nazarian. Future mayor, I hope you don't forget me when I ask for an interview. Okay, good. That's what I wanted to hear. Got to make the connections. It's about lifting each other up. Our next speaker comes to us via video. Sorry she couldn't be here today, but looking forward to her remarks. Michelle Kwan is a 2-time Olympic medalist, 5-time world champion, and one of history's most decorated figure skaters. Beyond her legendary career on the ice, she has served as a U.S. ambassador and advocate, promoting education, youth empowerment, and global engagement, inspiring generations worldwide. So here she is, Her Excellency Michelle Kwan.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Kwan, and I'm honored to be a part of this important conversation on female empowerment. You know, throughout my journey, whether it's in sports and figure skating, diplomacy, or advocacy, I've learned that resilience, confidence, and community support are key to breaking barriers. Women are really powerful agents of change, but we still face challenges in achieving equal opportunities. Empowerment starts with believing in yourself and supporting one another. Success isn't about perfection. It's about perseverance. Every challenge is really an opportunity to grow stronger and to get better. As we know, none of us can achieve success alone. We make real progress by finding mentors, by lifting each other up and creating spaces where women can thrive. When one woman thrives and rises, we all rise. Let's be each other's champions. To every young woman watching, know that your voice matters. Your dreams are valid, and you're capable of more than you can imagine. Let's continue to break barriers, shatter stereotypes, and support one another on this journey. So thank you so much for having me, and do not forget, we are unstoppable together.
I love that she got the memo, too, about unstoppable together. I think that's how we're all going to end our speeches today, as we should. Okay, I know our programs say that the general manager of the Waldorf Astoria, Todd Chambers, is set to speak. He couldn't make it, but that's okay. We have an amazing female who I'm excited to bring up to the stage. She's the hotel manager, and she's a first within the Waldorf hotel group, and she'll explain what that means in a second. So please put your hands together for Elham Iskender.
Good morning and welcome. Again, starting with an apology on behalf of our General Manager, Mr. Todd Chambers, who could not be here with us. But he's been texting all morning. And just wanted to make sure that I send his regards. And he's very, very grateful, and I am grateful that you chose the Waldorf Astoria Beverly Hills to celebrate such an amazing event, such an amazing summit. And we're happy to have you. Just a little bit about myself. I have a history with Waldorf Astoria brand for 5 years. My first one was the Waldorf Astoria in New York City back in 2003. And I will be part of the pre-opening, hopefully, and go help task force to open it in May, June of this year. Coming back to life, and I went to, life took me so many places. I've been doing this for 35 years. I am from Egypt, and I came here with my husband, and I have a son, but I enjoy the United States, of course, and being here for a long time. I worked for so many brands. Waldorf Astoria is my favorite. It's such a beautiful and luxury and strong culture. So I've been a total of 5 years with the Waldorf Astoria. So we have 27 luxury hotels under Waldorf Astoria in North America, and I am the only female in hotel manager and manager category. So that I'm proud of. Thank you. So that's what Marla meant, so thank you for that introduction too. Very happy to have you, and more empowerment to us and more unstoppable. I got the memo and I'm gonna take it out, and I'm gonna send an email like, today we are unstoppable. We have so many female leaders in the hotel. We're so proud to have that privilege, but most of all, our most recent addition, our Director of Sales and Marketing, Rosemary Karakan, and welcome. So another female, another empowerment, another unstoppable path. So thank you for being with us, and enjoy the summit. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I have about 5 days with the Waldorf Astoria team so far, so really thrilled to be here in front of such a distinguished group of ladies and gentlemen celebrating female empowerment. We're delighted to welcome this event back to Waldorf Astoria Beverly Hills in such an exquisite location with obviously a distinguished group of people here. A little bit about myself as well. The theme of Unstoppable Together really resonates with me. I have been fortunate to find myself in so many rooms with so many wonderful and supportive ladies and gentlemen around me throughout my career, and I know that truly when we elevate and lift each other's voices, we are stronger together. So it's really wonderful to see this here. I'm feeling the sisterhood as well, and as part of Waldorf Astoria Beverly Hills, we not only strive to deliver exquisite experiences, but we do also strive to support events like this and to be a part of lifting diverse voices. So thank you very much for selecting us to be your hosts, and we hope your experience is nothing short of exquisite. Thank you.
Rosie Karakan and Elham Iskender, thank you so much for your inspiring remarks and for hosting us today. It is a gorgeous, and the flowers are just stunning, aren't they? Yes. And I was just reminded when I had asked for a show of hands of returning customers, people who were here last year. One of the familiar faces is at this table, and she reminded me she's a midwife. So we are in good hands if I go into labor. Yes. Okay, our last speaker. That's right, we're going to have a baby today. Our last speaker comes to us via video again. We had Michelle Kwan, of course, the Olympic figure skater. This one here is an Olympic gymnast. She was the first in the history of gymnastics to receive a 10, Nadia Comaneci.
Dear Consuls General, ladies and gentlemen, I am Nadia Comaneci, and I am honored to join you virtually for the 5th edition of the Female Empowerment Summit at the prestigious Waldorf Astoria. It is a pleasure to address such a distinguished audience and share this moment with all of you. This event is an extraordinary opportunity to celebrate the strength, determination, and achievements of women around the world. As a former Olympic champion, I have learned that success comes not only from talent, but also from a lot of hard work, perseverance, and community support. Each of us has the potential to achieve great things, and together we can create a better and more equitable future for all women. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Wana Tucker for organizing this incredible summit. Your dedication and effort in bringing us together are truly commendable. I encourage you to support one another, share your stories, and continue to fight for your dreams. Together, we can overcome any obstacle and transform the world into a better place. Thank you, and I wish you an inspiring and successful summit.
Oh. Do we know which? So I've been told, it's like I have a producer in my ear right now. The flowers are not from the hotel. They're from a local flower shop. Is that right? Oh, my goodness. Yes. What's the name of your flower shop? One more time? Diana's. Diana's Flowers in Studio City. They're stunning. And okay, your younger daughter. I love the female empowerment. All the way down to the flowers. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, now it's time to get our panels started. There are 7 panels, And what I'm going to do is I'll introduce the moderator, and then the moderator, you can obviously introduce your panelists. And the first panel is titled Women in Diplomacy, Leading with Power, Bridging Nations, and Shaping Global Relations. The moderator is Simona Rachik. She's a seasoned international trade consultant and the co-founder and co-CEO of Trade Xeris. It's a trade tech startup specializing in simplifying global trade processes using AI and human-centered design. So let's bring up Simona Rachik.
Good morning. Welcome. Binat Zvenit in Los Angeles. It is an absolute pleasure to be back here at the Female Empowerment Summit, a platform that celebrates women who break barriers and drive meaningful change. Many thanks again and again to our visionary Wana Tucker, who for the 5th time was able to make this powerful and vibrant leaders energy, women leaders' energy possible, and you're going to all feel it by the end of today. Many thanks to Her Excellency Lucia Sava for hosting us under her patronage, and to all of you for being here today, and to those who travel for Romania. I am Simona Filip Racek. I was born in Cluj-Napoca, Romania. I immigrated to the United States 23 years ago, carrying with me a deep-rooted commitment to building community, which I learned in the countryside Romania from my grandparents. Working the land in countryside Romania was so much more efficient and productive and fun when we did it in a community. That's how we did things there. And today I have with me here my community who lifts me up, who supported me to arrive at this point in my career. And I just want to make a couple edits to my introduction. I have closed Trade Xeris and started a new company this year called Samaris Trade. So that was my my introduction from last year. But I just want a couple minutes to introduce my community. In the private sector, where I'm the co-CEO of Samaris Trade, I support medium-sized companies to scale by expanding globally, so importing and exporting their products and services. And I have here with me my co-CEO and brilliant women, Damaris Reyes. From the public sector, she's over there, I'm just looking straight at her eyes right now. From the public sector, I have with me today, in the public sector, I work with different local and government, local, state, and federal funded organizations to support small businesses grow globally by importing and exporting, so through global expansion. And I have one of the director of the Economic Development Collaborative here today, Alondra Gaitan. Thank you for being with us. And in the nonprofit sector, I support the advancement of women in global trade. And I have with me my entire board of directors. I have President Sidi Kara, Vice President Destiny Broussard, and I also have our research advisor, Fang Fei, right here from USC. And I also have Patrice, our wealth manager advisor, Patrice Benning. So this is my community. These women are not just my colleagues. They really are my people, my community that lift me up. And in my global work, in the global work that we do, this community, we very often look at the consul generals of foreign nations in Los Angeles for insights into economic opportunities and solutions to trade barriers in order to help us navigate the complexity of international trade. Today's discussion was envisioned and championed by the Honorable Lucia Sava, who has invited me to moderate this panel, Women in Diplomacy, and to really discuss how the importance of women in diplomacy extends far beyond representational equity. The United Nations Development Program states that women bring immense benefits to diplomacy through distinctive leadership styles, expertise, and priorities that broaden the scope of issues under consideration and the quality of outcome. broadens the quality of outcome. I love that. UNDP noted that when women have a seat at the diplomacy table, the odds of reducing instability and conflict improve significantly, and peace agreements last forever. I'm sorry, last longer. Forever, we want them to last. We are very honored to be joined today by 4 distinguished diplomats, leaders who have dedicated their careers to international relations and global cooperation. Allow me to introduce them, express our gratitude for your work, and to celebrate your invaluable contribution to society. First, we'll start with the Honorable Lucia Sava, Consul General of Romania in Los Angeles. Please join us on stage. We all know Honorable Lucia Sava. On November 9, 2024, she assumed the position of Consul General and head of the Consulate General of Romania in Los Angeles. With a remarkable 19-year bilateral and multilateral diplomacy career, Mrs. Sava brings extensive international relations expertise. Her contribution during Romania's presidency of the Council of the European Union earned her the Order Diplomatic Merit from President Klaus Johannes. She specializes in international negotiations, mediation, conflict resolution, and crisis management, and holds a PhD in international relations and counterterrorism. Welcome, Honorable Sava, and thank you for your leadership in the community. Next, we have the Honorable Andrea Sasse, Consul General of Germany in Los Angeles. Please join us on stage. Since 2023, Honorable Andrea Sasse has been serving as the Consul General at the Consulate General of Germany in Los Angeles. Her distinguished career includes roles as Deputy Spokesperson and Head of Social Media for the German Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Political Officer for Near and Middle Eastern Affairs at the German Embassy in Washington. She previously served as spokesperson for Africa, United Nations Affairs, Cultural Initiative, Human Rights, Humanitarian Assistance, and Crisis Management. Welcome and thank you for your work. Next, we have the Honorable Marcella Smith, Consul General of Ireland in Los Angeles. Honorable Marcella Smith is Ireland Consul General to the Southwestern United States. Her extensive diplomatic career includes serving as the Deputy Director for International Security Policy in Ireland Department of Foreign Affairs, focusing on UN Security Council issues, including peacekeeping operations. She has served as press spokesperson at Ireland's permanent representation to the European Union, Deputy Head of Mission and Charged Affairs at Ireland's Embassy to Belgium, and Deputy Head of Mission to Ireland's Embassy to Canada. She'll shortly take up duty as Ireland Ambassador to Latvia. Congratulations, welcome. We also have the Honorable Rene Pea, Consul General of Croatia in Los Angeles. Please join us on stage. Honorable Rene Pea has served as the Consul General of Croatia in Los Angeles since 2020, overseeing relations across 19 Western U.S. states. Her distinguished 20-year diplomatic career includes roles as Foreign and European Policy Advisor in the Office of the President of Croatia and Deputy Ambassador to the Political and Security Council of the EU. She has worked extensively on Croatia's accession to NATO and EU, international peacekeeping operation, export controls, and demining initiatives. Her law degree, legal expertise, and keen knowledge of European law have guided her diplomatic career. Welcome and thank you. To begin our conversation, is my mic working? Everybody can hear me? To begin our conversation, I'd like to take us all back to the start of your diplomatic journey and learn about what inspired you to pursue a career in diplomacy and how your early experiences, particularly as a woman in the field, have shaped your path forward. Honorable Sava, I'll start with you. Your impressive career reflects a journey that began with a high school dream of being a diplomat and flourished through determination and hard work. Could you share what sparked the early aspiration to enter this field? And as we all know, you are also a mother of 2 wonderful boys, and we'd like to hear about how balancing motherhood with your diplomatic responsibility influence your perspective and shape your leadership approach.
Thank you, Simona. So, yes, I decided that I have a dream, and that dream was to be a diplomat. When I finished my professional running period, it was in the high school. So back then, I was analyzing myself and what I want to do with my future. We are 5 children to my parents, 3 girls, 2 boys. So every single time my mother said to me, you have to be the best, you have to build your future. So I decided that I want to represent my country. I love history, so I said, okay, I will be a diplomat. So from that moment, every single step that I had, it was toward this dream. So university and every single volunteering, it was to accomplish my dream. In the 3rd year to university, I succeeded to do internship to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And after that, they didn't succeed to say goodbye to me. So I was like, I will stay here. I will work without money, doesn't matter. So first I started my work in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in a department, communication. First I said, it's not for me, but it just helped me to understand what it means to be a diplomat, what it means to have this work. It's every single minute you have to be prepared, you have to be there, and if you really like it, it will be wonderful. It will be a great journey. I have 2 boys, 15 and 9 years old. It's not easy, but I think it's not easy for every single one of us that we are having children. It's harder, but they give us that hope, you know, to be better for them. So I think this is something about my dream and how accomplished to be a diplomat. Thank you, Simona.
Thank you so much. Honorable Andrea Sasse, your distinguished career has included significant roles in communication and media relationship within Germany's diplomatic corps. I'm particularly interested in hearing about the role models, both men and women, who have influenced your leadership approach and how your background in crisis management and media shape your perspective and in maintaining a balanced leadership.
Well, I got to start early too. I got a younger brother, and my parents actually, or both of us, my brother and me, we grew up with the support of my parents in whatever we did, whatever we wanted to be, and whatever we would do professionally. I think support, like Michelle Kwon said earlier, is the key. I always felt supported in whichever way I chose to live, to pursue my career. So that was the key, definitely, for me. My parents also, who have been married for 52 years, more than 52 years, they also always treated each other in a very equal way. This is the way my brother and me grew up, so it felt very natural to me that we would have the same chances. I know that is not true in all parts of the world, but I very much benefited from it, and I very much appreciated those equal opportunities that we both had. And of course, as a young child, well, as a teenager growing up, you change your dreams every now and then. So they ranged from becoming a marine biologist to becoming a diplomat, a journalist. So I enjoyed all of it, and I felt like a career in the diplomatic service could actually offer me that variety that I very much enjoyed in my life. Not necessarily the marine biology, but several other fields, and I still feel the same way. I think this profession offers a lot of incredible opportunities from being a panelist at a female empowerment summit to giving speeches, empowering the younger generation, leading the way for your country, for my country in this case. I think it's an incredible chance, and I feel very fortunate not only to be with so many incredible women and male colleagues here in Los Angeles. A couple of them are here today. They inspire me every day and they motivate me every day. I enjoy working with them very, very much. But of course, I've also had a lot of role models, like you said, from the former ambassadors, the current ambassador in Washington, to bosses in the private sector where I worked earlier. It ranges from men to women, but I've learned a great deal from all of them, and I very much benefit from the experiences that those role models transferred to me, gave to me.
Thank you for sharing. It's wonderful to get to know that about you. Honorable Smith, when you began your career, there were only a few women serving as heads of mission in Irish diplomacy. Over the years, you have witnessed a remarkable evolution, leading to women now representing 53% of heads of mission in Irish diplomacy, serving as ambassadors and consul general worldwide. We'd love to hear your perspective on what this shift signifies for the future of women in international relations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and thank you, Lucia, for inviting all of us to be part of today. Yes, I think it's very easy to forget how young a country Ireland is. You know, we're an ancient land, but a very young country. We celebrated 100 years as a country just last year, but actually our independence was only achieved really properly in the 1940s, and it took a while for the country to really develop, and particularly in terms of equality. 1973 was the year the first Irish female ambassador was appointed, and the second Irish female ambassador was appointed in 1990, which is just shocking, absolutely shocking. I joined the Department of Foreign Affairs in 2001, and I can remember. The figure may have been more, but I can remember 4 extraordinary women who were at the very top of the diplomatic service, and they were so powerful, so quietly powerful, and served as incredible, extraordinary role models for all of us who had joined the diplomatic service. And I came straight in from university, full of fire and passion and ideals. And just being able to see what they had achieved and the manner in which they had achieved it, and also their very quiet work in ensuring that the department took on policies, whether they were family-friendly policies, maternity policies, menopause policy, that enabled women to maneuver through what had been an extremely patriarchal organization was extraordinary. And then as I said, I joined in 2001, and now here we are 24 years later. Oh my God, I'm very old. And we have 53% of our embassies, of our consulates are headed up by women, and brilliantly headed up by women, if I say so myself.
Congratulations to Ireland. I love the phrase, so quietly powerful, she said. Thank you. Honorable Pea, given your unique experience as an advisor to Croatia's first female president, Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic, you have witnessed firsthand the impact of women leadership in global affairs. How has the experience influenced your diplomatic perspective, and what lessons do you take forward in your role as Consul General?
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, Lucia, for organizing this. So yes, you're right. I was very lucky to have amazing women as my role models. Actually, I had 3 different foreign ministers as women who were also my role models. And also the president of the government of Croatia was also a woman as I was going through the ministry and building my career. And then I ended up working for the president of Croatia in a role as a foreign policy advisor in her office. That started in 2017. And that has really helped me see myself as a woman leader, and has strengthened me in my positions and taught me a lot. However, I also wanted to tell you a little bit about my beginnings, because you're asking my colleagues what inspired them to become diplomats. And for me, it was actually the war. We had a war that started in '91. It was our war for independence, and I was just starting high school. And we actually had bombs falling on our heads. During first year of high school, I had to run into shelters to, not get hit by rockets falling on the Capitol. And that was something that really influenced my whole life, because at that point, we're a very young country. We didn't have a diplomacy that was built up. We're just trying to defend ourselves. And we felt very much not heard. It was very difficult at that time. There was no social media, nothing like that. You had to have reporters on the ground. And it was very difficult to explain to the rest of the world what was happening, who was the aggressor, that we were just trying to defend ourselves. We felt very much not understood or misunderstood, and very helpless. And in that kind of a situation, I felt like we really needed to build up our diplomacy, and I had a feeling I needed to do something. And so 20-something years later, here I am.
A powerful story of resilience. Thank you for sharing that with us. Next, we are going to move into a topic, turning soft power into a business advantage. Diplomacy is often referred to as soft power, yet it plays a decisive role in shaping global relations. Women in business frequently rely on collaboration, persuasion, and relationship-building skills that are essential in both diplomacy and leadership. However, these strengths are sometimes perceived as limitations, confining women to certain roles rather than recognizing them as powerful assets. Honorable Smith, I'd like to start with you. How do you see this perception affecting women's leadership opportunities, and how can we redefine the narrative around soft skills?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, we've discussed this before, and I think we've talked about how soft skills are so commonly attributed to women, and I have issues with this for 2 reasons. One, I think exactly as you have said, that the soft skills, collaboration, listening, they are seen as almost intangible skills. They're not measurable. And we all understand the world in binary terms. So if there are soft skills, then there are hard skills. And hard skills are masculine and measurable and observable. And in certain contexts are given far greater weight than soft skills. The reality is that we all use soft and hard skills every day in every single context in which we are operating. For example, if I am in a negotiation, I am using my analytical skills to determine what approach I am actually taking in this position. They, as I said, they can then be used, if women are seen having these soft skills, then they don't have the hard skills, and it is used then to exclude us. The other issue I have with soft skills is that it's often used then in the opposite way to justify in the inclusion of women in certain contexts, as if we need to be justifying our existence or needing to justify our presence at the table. The reality is women make up 51% of the population. I have a fundamental right to be at this table, and I do not have to justify why I should be here. I do not have to state that I have these special skills that only I can possibly bring to the table. I'm here because it is my right. And I think we should all be talking about that right and not looking for other ways in which to justify our presence. More and more we are seeing this erosion of women's rights globally, and it is deeply worrisome. And we need to be talking, using that language in relation to our rights. I think the UN, you talked about the UN at the beginning. The UN has in their report last year showed that it will take 286 years for women and children to be granted the same legal provisions around the world as are provided to men. It's an extraordinary figure. So we need to get away from talking about trying to justify our presence by talking about women having these very soft skills that are so necessary. And in fact, no, we're there because we have a right to be there.
Thank you. I feel very powerful right now just listening to you saying that. I have the fundamental right to be here. And that's the fight ahead. That's the work ahead. So thank you. Honorable Sase, from your perspective, how can women leverage these soft skills strategically to drive influence and success in diplomacy and business?
First of all, thank you, Marcella, for making that very powerful speech, which I fully, of course, support. Like I said, for me, it's always felt like a given that I'm at the table. I've also been very fortunate to always be at the table and always feel like equally treated, at least in most situations, with some exceptions. But I won't get into that. But the aspect of inclusion, maybe against that background that I always felt included and part of the game, that aspect of inclusion is very important to me. I agree with Marcella to 100% that women should be at the table. I also agree with her that the other 50% should be the men at the table. So it's very important for me, like when working with younger colleagues, for example, to include all of them, to empower all of them, and maybe support them in different ways in developing their skills, soft skills as well as hard skills, but also sort of showing them where to go and like what they can achieve, maybe also showing them certain limits and setting certain limits to behaviors. But my goal is always empowering people, not to stop at certain invisible ceilings, glass ceilings, or whatever it is, be it guys or girls. This is really my personal goal, to empower and include everyone so that we have a more just table and more equalized table.
Thank you. And I like how this is rooted in the way you were brought up and you mentioned at home. So that's the word that we want to create for everyone. So thank you. Well, let's give a round of applause to that answer. Honorable Sava, could you share examples where soft power has directly led to measurable success in negotiations or global partnerships?
Thank you, Simona. So first of all, I agree with Marcella and Andrea, but with my experience, I can tell you that sometimes, as a diplomat, as a woman diplomat, sometimes you don't feel that right, you know? So you'll see maybe a brown up or something. So me, as a diplomat, I had to work twice as a man diplomat, and I'm not kidding. So thank you to God that my husband really loved me now 23 years ago, and he stayed with me as long as I needed to stay in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I had crises, and there were, I don't know, Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve or
many events that I lost them because I needed to prove to myself that I'm there, that I'm doing a good job, that I'm no less than a man. So sometimes I'm telling you, yes, we are on the same level, but in my opinion, we are better than. I'm so sorry, my colleagues. I'm sorry, you're the best, but thank you. And to answer to your question, Simona, we in Romania, we had many periods when we had to negotiate, and tough periods. And in the team of diplomats, many years we had to have negotiation for us, Romania, to be in the NATO, and in 2004, and after that to be in EU. And we are really proud, but in those teams, many years and all the steps, we did it. We have had a lot of women's diplomats that they're been in that teams, and I'm sending them a message because I'm really proud of that. And thank you, Simona.
Thank you. We have a lot of work to do, Honorable Sava, yes. I work in a global field, in a global trade. We do have a lot of work to do ahead. Honorable Peya, could you also share some examples about soft skills and how directly led to measurable success?
Yes, of course. Well, first of all, let me tell you, I absolutely agree with Marcella. However, I also have a somewhat of a different opinion when it comes to soft power. First of all, I believe soft power is diplomacy as such. That is a definition of soft power. And I feel like we should use all the resources at our disposal for achieving our goal, or for using diplomacy in achieving peace, or in negotiations, or getting the world where we need it to be, peaceful and free, rather than in conflict. And like I said, I feel like there are a lot of different skills that we can use. And sometimes people respond differently to us as women negotiating. Sometimes, there's merit in trying to be a little bit softer, getting to a compromise in a different way, sometimes even a roundabout. Because I had experiences where just because I'm a woman, or maybe because I come from a smaller country, I would suggest something that I would think, not just from my point of view, not just because I wanted to make a compromise, but because I thought that's something they would accept, and I was dismissed because, like I said, I'm a woman, or I come from a small country. And then the next day they would come back and say, well, you were actually right, we are happy to accept that. But sometimes you have to use, our powers of persuasion in a different way. And I feel like as women, we are equipped to do so. Sometimes we can be a little bit softer, a little bit more understanding. We listen, and listen in a different way, maybe in a way that's more understanding or more encompassing. We see things differently. And I feel like we can use that to our advantage, and not to our advantage, just to advantage of diplomacy.
Thank you. Thank you. I love the way you stress the word listen. You really put an emphasis on the word listen. In preparing for the panel, I came across the perspective on diplomacy from Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, who was the first woman U.S. Secretary of State under President Clinton. And she once said that people often describe diplomacy as a game of chess, where two sides carefully strategize their moves, but then she went on disagreeing, saying that diplomacy is as a game of billiards. You think you're making a straightforward move, but along the way, the ball hits another, and suddenly the entire table shifts. In international relations, decisions are never made in isolation. When you take an action with one country, it inevitably affects others, often in ways we cannot fully control. Diplomacy is about engaging with world leaders, understanding their perspectives, and finding common ground, all while keeping your country's interest at heart. So that's the work that you all do. Very, very important and impressive work, so thank you. To conclude our panel, I would really like to talk about the power of collaboration. This very panel is a testament to the power of collaboration. Honorable Sava, you brought together 4 distinguished consul generals from different nations here in Los Angeles under the theme Unstoppable Together. In diplomacy, as in business, success and real impact happens when we work across borders, cultures, and industry. Based on your experiences, could you leave us with a key diplomatic strategies that you personally found most effective in fostering international collaborations? Thank you.
Thank you, Simona. So I really wanted to have this panel, and I invited you all and all my colleagues because I know how hard it is for us, how hard is our work, and I think the most important thing for us, and what I wanted always to say, it's important to go from here and to try to find one person, only one person, and to help that person with everything that she really need. So we're talking about emotional, we're talking about money, we're talking about everything. So I had in my life those kind of women that supported me, and I could ask them at any hour their support. So I think that's the most important thing we have to leave from this summit, to help each other, to be next to each other, because sometimes we had that feeling that maybe you are in my territory, you are in my space, and I have that feeling that I'm better than you. No, I think we all have our square, and I think we need to stick next to each other. So thank you. Unstoppable together.
Honorable Sase.
Well, collaboration is the key, like Lucia just said. Well, I think it's always important to put yourself in the shoes of one another, be it a woman or a man, to find common ground, like you said. That's the key to international relations. I think we have a very, very strong consular core here. We have great representatives of the Office of Foreign Missions, of the city, of the county. All of us work very closely and very well together. I think this is the key. I think LA in that regard can send a signal to the world that if we cooperate, if we put each other in one another's shoes, that we can find common ground, that we can even discuss the most controversial political topics and sort of come to maybe some solutions in the field of diplomacy or in the field of economics, even partnerships in the economic field. I think all of that is possible if you try to find common ground, if you try to put yourself in the shoes of the person you're talking to, and just be kind. Also, someone said that before. I think kindness is the key, empathy is the key. All of that is the essence of diplomacy and the work we are doing.
And I can only echo the remarks of my colleagues. I think it's interesting that we are all EU member states. I think the EU is an extraordinary example of collaboration. Where diplomacy is viewed as a zero-sum game or is viewed as transactional, it is never going to work. We all have national perspectives, yet, and actually Renee and I sat around the EU working table, negotiation table together back in Brussels some years ago. But you come with your national interests, your national positions, but the goal, and the goal that we all have in mind at all times, is to agree a common solution, to work the community method, as the French would say, because that is what we are, a community, and we want to have an outcome that benefits all, and that really is what diplomacy is about. And those lessons can also, I think, be translated to business. That starting from a position of respect and from a position of generosity, whilst understanding clearly your own boundaries, allows you to reach compromise.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with my colleagues, and echoing what Marcella just said. We used to spend hours negotiating at the EU level. I remember sometimes I would go out of the building of the council. It was 3 a.m. I couldn't get a cab. I didn't know how to get home because, you don't really walk around Brussels at 3 o'clock in the morning by yourself. It was challenging at times, but we were always trying to find common ground and end up with a win-win situation, because I believe that's the most important thing. That's where you want to get to, because if you don't, then somebody's going to be very unhappy, and one side, and then you didn't achieve anything really, because you're going to have the same problem in a couple of months or years. So I believe that, in order to reach a win-win solution, you need to listen, like I said. You need to try to understand the other side. You need to be very respectful, but also be approachable. And I believe all of us here as women are very approachable, and that's why we are so successful. And I could see that in my own community, but also with my colleagues as well. And another great example of that, and I wanted to tell you this story because I was working for the Croatian president, and we were playing the finals game at the World Cup at football, at soccer actually, in Russia. And our president was there, and President Macron was there. And we were playing against France in the finals, and it ended, France won, and both of the presidents went out to the field to give medals to the footballers, the soccer players. And it started raining, and it was pouring rain. And both of the presidents were just standing there, hugging the players, congratulating them, getting soaked. And that's one of the images that most of the people remember about our president. She was just standing there, smiling, trying to make our soccer players feel better because they were all crying and very, very upset about not winning the game, and just getting completely wet. And she was fine with it because she was just trying to be there for her people. And everybody around the world saw that. And we were getting so much press and so much mail from all over the world saying how wonderful she is. And that's because she was approachable and kind and there for the people that she was representing. So.
Thank you, thank you. And as we conclude, as we wrap up our conversation, I want to leave you with this thought. When we approach our differences with curiosity rather than judgment, when we lift each other up rather than compete, and when we recognize our shared humanity across borders, that's when we truly become unstoppable together. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us today.